more of a permanent setup. We're still very temporary, but bringing you the best content. What a great start, isn't that a good one? Anyways, we've got some new people here. Me and Sam been on a few times now, but some new girls. You guys want to introduce yourself? Who are you?
I am Audrey.
Hi, Audrey.
What do you do here, Audrey?
Why are you here on this couch?
So true.
I am the youth coordinator at Crossway Youth, obviously. Crossway Youth.
Obviously.
No, wait, not the obvious bit about the coordinator, the obvious bit about like Crossway Youth, because that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Like you clicked onto the Crossway Youth podcast, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's your own fault.
You should know.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I am Brooke. I'm
Hi,
one of the youth pastors here and the young adults pastor. So
Yeah.
it's
It's
home turf.
super awesome. Yeah, bringing some more people on. I think it'd be good to expand who's on this couch, or whatever couches we choose to use in the future.
For our audio listeners, we're sitting on. Are they good couches, guys? What do we think? I would say, I found a crayon in between the two seats of this couch, which this is great for YouTube, not great for audio.
Yeah.
But they're sort of like medium couches,
Yeah.
I would say.
They're pretty standard.
Yeah. Would you be happy with these in your house?
No.
No.
If I got them for free.
That was the fastest
Too
no
fast?
I've ever heard in my
No,
life.
I would not have these in my house.
Yeah. So just to get to know you guys, because I know me and Sam and Matilda have done a few, getting to know each other things on the last few episodes. Can you guys? I'm going to ask you two questions. Okay. Number one, what is your favorite movie that starts with the letter S?
That's going to require some thinking.
Yeah. Do you have one while they think, Sam?
Yeah, well, mine it's a the at the start.
That's
so
fine.
does
There
that
is allowed.
lose?
There is allowed. You're allowed the.
Well, then the Shawshank Redemption.
I was
Right.
just about to say that.
Shout out.
That's yours.
Yeah.
Shout out to. I was about to say shout out to.
Andy Dufresne.
No, I was about to say shout out to prison. I realised that it's not
I don't know.
the greatest
I don't
shout
know if
out
that's
to
what
do.
we're going for, but
If they are listening to a CY podcast in prison, then absolutely a shout out to
And
them.
we have done well.
I don't know if our audience consists of prisoners, but
Slash if anyone's ever said shout out to prison before.
Yeah.
Great movie if you haven't watched it. Did I steal yours? Is that what your answer is going to be?
Well, kind of, but also, can I think of any other movies that start with S?
No.
I can't. So
What's yours,
that's
Audrey,
going to be
then?
it.
I don't know what it's called, so it's not really a favourite then, I guess. The
Oh.
Strictly Ballroom? Strictly Dancing. Strictly Ballroom.
Dirty Dancing.
No.
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 Strictly.
yeah,
That's a
it is a
Is it a film?
Yeah, I think so.
Strictly.
It
It's
is
a TV show as well.
really.
Yeah,
No.
well, Strictly,
Oh.
Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Strictly Come Dancing is the British version of that.
I'm
Oh,
going to
recorded
say
okay.
that's
video.
based on the movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with you.
We can fact check
Yeah.
later.
I'm fine with agreeing with that. What's
Yeah.
yours?
Mine.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Oh.
Now I'm upset that I didn't think
I
of
didn't
that.
think of that.
Yep. Good. Oh yeah. And second question. What is your go-to McDonald's breakfast order on the way to winter camp?
Well,
Or
On the
not
way to winter camp,
your
I've
just regular
been
breakfast.
on the bus for the past
Ah,
couple
okay,
of
so
years.
you're just Macca's breakfast order.
Bacon and egg McMuffin, 2 hash browns.
Same.
No drink.
No drink.
There's no drink at Macca's that I rate highly enough to consume all of it. I'm just like, drink beverages so slowly.
Yeah.
The orange juice, not that good. A coffee, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd go with coffee, but like,
May as well get an extra.
They
hash
like
Exactly,
they like at least
yeah.
care a bit about their coffee now. Like
Yeah.
I feel like they invested in better machines or something, but it's not like brown water. Like
Yeah.
it's actually it's not nice, but it's like, you
and
know.
you can get oat milk.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'd get a coffee.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. So today we.
Just my order
I'm
then?
just-
Great.
I'm-
there
I'm
you go,
hitting
guys.
it.
But I
That's it.
just like
Oh, Audrey hasn't said hers yet.
Well, neither did Sam. Neither did you,
Yeah.
actually.
I wasn't
So
asking Sam or me.
that's perfect.
Wait, what's
Wait,
yours?
yeah.
Audrey?
No, I agreed with Brooke.
Oh, same.
I
Double
said,
down.
yeah.
Oh,
Bacon and
okay.
egg McMuffin meal with 2 hash browns.
2, please.
Maybe
Okay.
5 hash browns, actually.
Whoa. Isn't it crazy they cost $2 now, not $1 or $2.20 or whatever
Yeah.
it is? Ridiculous.
just
Inflation.
no, this is not even a hot take. It might just be a take. Macca's breakfast is just disgusting.
Wow.
Yeah. I would have Macca's eat like any other Macca's food, but all the breakfast stuff, the sausage and eggs, the hot cakes. I would honestly maybe rather have, if I was eating McDonald's at that time of the day, I might even just have a burger instead of having a bacon and egg.
I'm going to say this is because you didn't grow up road tripping around Australia under 10. Because I'm like,
Yeah,
it is so
that is-
nostalgic to me.
A bacon and egg
100%.
in the car
Yeah.
at 7 a.m. in the morning.
Driving to Queensland, all
Yeah.
6 of us in a car.
In one car.
One car.
Seriously?
Yep.
We've
Backseat
done that with
bandit.
8. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's brutal. And Macca's is the silver lining on it.
It is the only thing that keeps you going, honestly.
Did you ever have those TVs that you could attach onto the back of
No,
mums and
that's
dads'
way
chairs?
Must be nice.
Way
No?
too fancy.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
I was watching movies on my iPod Nano like this.
iPod Nano.
Yeah.
Discman.
Yep.
Boys.
Well,
crazy.
this is a great transition. So thanks for that, because we've kind of mentioned, you didn't go road tripping when you were young. We're talking about Walkmans versus iPods, and this episode we're really talking about generations, but not, I guess, any generation. But okay, before I say this, we're gonna go. Who is a Z person and who is a Z person? Because we're talking about generation.
like how
last
do, like
letter
Like,
of
how do you
alphabet.
say it?
Are you a Gen Z or Gen Z?
Gen Z.
A, B, C.
Alright, just waiting
Sing the
music
alphabet,
whilst
yeah.
Audrey sings the alphabet and gets to the
Gen
end
Z,
of it.
but spelt as just the letter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So not Z.
Z. Z-E-D is how other people spell that.
Well, it's how this meeting invite was spelled.
Yeah,
and I was
Z.
like, I'm
Z.
specifically it's a Z, but
Yeah.
spelled as a single letter.
It's Z.
No,
Z.
Z.
You say
It's
Z?
Gen Z.
Gen.
That's so American.
Oh, maybe I do
Like
say
a-
Z.
Oh, okay,
Gen Z.
next question. Zebra or zebra?
Zebra.
Zebra. A new zebra.
Zebra.
Well, I don't know.
Gen Z.
It was just a fun.
Now that I
it was
asked
just a
it,
fun thing.
I'm thrown off.
Oh, it wasn't a question for me. It was just a question
Yeah,
for you
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
right? We're talking about that. Some Gen Z. So, who of us are Gen Z? What are the years for it? It's like
I don't know.
Gen Z. I've got it here. Born between 1995 to 2009.
okay. So, I am.
I am.
You
most
are?
definitely.
Sam is, and Brooke.
Well, by
Isn't?
that I am, but
Right.
in most other things, I'm a millennial.
Because I thought it was like, I've heard, I feel like with these generational things, you hear like 4 consecutive years are the start of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's hard to,
I think I'd resonate more with millennial stuff
Millennial
than
things.
Gen Z stuff.
you're talking about Walkman, so yeah.
Okay, I didn't say Walkman, I said Discman.
Oh, did
I
you?
Did
Oh,
Wait,
have a
did you not?
Apologies.
You never. You're born similar to me. Did you never have a Walkman?
Nah.
Ah, I
Enough.
haven't sent it.
Meanwhile,
I did have like
stuck
an
in
MP3
2002.
Do you
player.
know what a Walkman is? Audrey?
No.
Really? You don't know what
Me,
it is?
stuck in 2002, everyone.
Chuck it, if you're on YouTube, chuck it down in the comments if you know what a Walkman is.
Or if
Don't
you're like
Google
me.
it first.
It was like this little doll that you could walk, like you wind it up and it would walk. It was a man that walks.
No, I know you're lying.
Because he laughed. You
I
looked
know
at
you're
me with
lying.
like. actual
Anyways,
face.
I think Audrey, being our chief Gen Z ambassador, maybe you could say, I think you've got a bit of a game for us.
I do. I do. It's a little bit of a quiz,
Okay,
and it's going to be Lockie and I
great.
versus Sam and Brooke.
Right.
Only under the assumption that I genuinely thought Sam was a millennial. Because
Rough.
I mean, like, again, with
I'm,
the date
again,
of birth
you'd
thing, yeah.
identify more with.
Which is fine.
I
millennial,
remember
I
having a
imagine.
Walkman and listening to
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eskimo
so-
Joe,
Yeah.
Black Fingernails,
There
Red
you
Wine.
And
Yeah.
you remember a time before an iPhone.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which I feel like is like a big indicator of like, I spent half my life not having a smartphone. Whereas like Gen Z is like, have spent most of their teenage years with a smartphone.
got
With
an
an
iPhone
iPhone.
at the age of 2.
Exactly.
yeah.
So I'm like, that feels like a good distinctive.
Or even just like growing up as a kid, like kids just have iPads now
Yeah.
from the time that they're 3.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're
Okay.
watching ABC Kids on there
Yeah.
when you're 2 and 3 years old.
Yeah.
What were we doing when we were 2 and 3 years old?
I was eating cockroaches.
Not that.
Watching VHS recordings
Yeah.
of my favorite shows.
Yeah,
Seriously.
great.
So
We'll come back to the
Recording
cockroach thing
TV
later
onto
because
a
that's
VHS
disgusting.
to watch it back later.
all right, well, let's hit
Well,
it.
yeah.
We get
Alright.
it. We're old.
Yeah.
Can-
Old team versus
Yeah,
young
so
team.
this is Gen Z team, and
Yeah.
that's going to be your millennial team.
Great. If
Okay.
you're listening as well, if you want to like, if you hear the question, like pause it, write down your answer, see if you got it correct, hit play, etc. See how you go. See if you can beat Audrey, who made the quiz. I don't know. See if you can beat these guys, maybe.
Yeah.
See if you can beat me.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
ready.
let's go,
I'm-
let's go.
I have compiled Gen Z language, and you will also have to finish the lyrics to some of the most popular Gen Z
gonna be
songs
so bad at this.
at the moment. And bonus points if you can do the TikTok dances for them.
I don't even listen to music.
Neither.
Like, I
But
just-
we'll
Nor
start
do I
off.
have
We'll start off
TikTok,
easy
so-
with Gen Z, however you say it, language.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And Lockie and I will say if it's right or wrong. Number 1, no cap.
No cap is like no lie. Truth.
yeah. Lock it
Yeah,
in.
I'll give that a ding.
Thank
I'll
you.
pay it.
Should I do all the sound effects?
Number two.
We'll do sound. We'll put sound effects in when we
Number
edit
2,
Okay.
main character.
it. Mm.
I mean, like main character energy. I've got some playlists that are like one of my playlists is called main character energy. So it's when you when you are really the main character
It's
of
like,
your
is
scene.
it
She's
center
just
of
saying
attention
main character like 10
vibes?
times.
not center of attention, but it's just like you are playing the main character in the movie of your life. I'm not a side character in this scene.
Ah,
You
You know what I
right.
mean?
So, not big energy, like similar to big energy. I'm just gonna stop talking because obviously I'm dragging down the millennial
I'm gonna
team
say
right
you
now.
don't know what
I
it
don't
means.
know.
and
I'm
I
gonna
do. So we're gonna
agree
lock
with
in
that.
what I said.
Brooke is hard carrying this.
Okay, what
already.
is your final answer?
What she said?
Like main character energy. I don't know if you can use that.
What is-
in
what does
describing
main
it.
character mean?
No, you can't use the word to describe it.
It's like the focus of the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll pay that.
Yeah. I like when you were like you're the main character in the movie
Of
of
your life.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, like all the plot revolves around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Since Brooke has answered 2 of them, and Sam, you haven't done any.
Like
This
Sam.
one's for you.
Who is anyway? Separate. Who's not the main character in the movie of their life? Just as a side thing.
It's if you've got like bad self-confidence and you're sort of like life is happening to me
And you're like a
and
character
other
actor.
people are the main characters.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we are. Okay,
Great.
let's go.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Sam, this one's for you.
Ready.
Say less.
Say less. I know exactly what it means. I'm just gonna have a hard time describing it. It's like I agree. Stop talking. You don't need to say any more things. I agree with what you're saying. Right?
Snaps
Yeah.
for you.
Great.
Love.
This one I think just comes from
I was pretty scared.
this
just
one
for
comes from
everybody.
like
but I'm glad that was a
because
fairly easy
there
one.
was a saying back in the olden days. It's just like say no more, right? So instead of
True.
saying say no more, you say less.
I
Yeah,
didn't even
true.
know that.
Yeah.
You didn't know "say no more" was a thing.
No.
well.
I would have just
Wait.
said say less.
And here I am bridging the gap.
You are.
Again,
Well
say
done.
less.
Next, slay, which I hope both of you know
It's like
very well.
I use this just in my life now.
I think it gets said amongst our team about once an hour.
And you know whose fault it is.
And if it's not by
Address.
me, that's an issue.
Yeah.
It's
Slay.
not by you
Slay me.
anymore. It's mostly by everyone else, actually.
Honestly, it's
not-
mostly
it
by
stopped,
Ben.
It stopped being your thing. It was Audrey's thing, and now it's just not. It's everyone's
And
thing.
then what she
So
realizes
now-
we all do it, so now it's not cool anymore.
Yeah. So I've been trying to find a new word, but
Maybe
We'll see.
the most non-cool iteration of Slay now amongst our team is we use like a project management software, and instead of a task saying done when you complete it, we changed it to say slay when you complete it.
Yeah.
And I realize now that's like probably the opposite of cool.
Boomer.
Slay.
Super boomer.
Like, oh, the project is slaying.
It's like, imagine
Like,
for
why
a
did we do
second
that?
our parents commenting slay on a Facebook picture,
100%.
because
That's
that's the
exactly
next
what it
stage
is.
of
When's,
this.
Yeah.
when's Facebook adding a slay react? Honestly.
Yeah.
gosh,
And
I
what
hope
would it
Actually,
be?
actually, I mean, that maybe it's too old for this. If we're talking Gen Z, maybe Facebook's boomer technology. When's Instagram
is.
adding
it
a
is.
slay,
It actually is.
a slay react?
Hope so soon. All right, next. Cancelled.
I mean, I feel like this has been around
These are not-
longer than Gen Z.
Or like
Cancel's
cancel culture.
Yeah, if you get cancelled, it's like you get royally kicked off your pedestal.
Or you can't, like, one thing you say or do just sums up who you are, and you can never come back from it, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is. Like, you
I
can.
mean, people have come back. But it just takes, you need to like go underground for a while,
Yeah.
let everyone get over you, and then you come back.
Like some tweet that someone makes from a billion years ago surfaces, they get cancelled, and then you need to go and do.
And then people like boycott a person, which is
Yeah.
like ridiculous.
Which honestly, I think cancelled is like very social media world, probably like America pop culture. Whereas Australia, we've literally always had tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah.
Like no one can be too big for their boots. If you get up too high and mighty, we will cut you down. And I'm like, babes, we've been cancelling people for decades.
seriously.
This isn't new.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so true. Yeah.
Next, Riz. To be used with W Riz or L Riz.
Do you want me to take the floor for this one?
Please. Praise
Oh, I
the
thought you'd
Lord.
never ask.
Riz. Riz is what Raz used to be.
Yeah.
And Raz is if someone is interested in someone romantically, they are razzing, and then now they are rizzing, right? And a W Riz would be something that you approve of. You approve of two people's romantic interest in each other, and an L Riz would be you disapprove of it.
I think you should say whether this is right or wrong.
No, because I remember this one time we were talking about it, and your definition was
Oh,
actually correct.
The charisma one?
Yeah.
Oh,
So you should say that.
yes. So we had this conversation, like I was trying to, or like with people, and Riz came up, and I had heard somewhere that Riz was short for charisma, saying that you have like you're charismatic. So somewhat to do with like with like Raz, I guess if you're interested in someone, you will like you will be charismatic to impress them, right? So you will have
You
charisma.
have Riz.
You have Riz.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's, I guess, in a positive way.
Just gave the
not
biggest
approved.
stank face to that kid. I'm really sorry. He didn't
And
deserve
W Riz is like good, like successful or good charisma. L Riz is
Yeah.
Unsuccessful.
See, I think that's just one
Okay,
of those
there you
ones where
go.
I'm like, I'll very happily never say it.
oh,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to use
Yeah.
it ever.
In fact, this was the last time I've said it for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair
today.
enough.
Yeah, I'll make you guys say it
Yeah,
somehow.
you
Or just
will,
like,
so-
I will.
Last one. It's giving.
Yeah, I mean, I can jump in
I got
because
nothing.
I
Whoa, go Brooke.
say this one.
Whoa.
If it's like similar to like main character energy, but if it's giving what someone else is. So if Sam came through and said Slay Queen, I could say it's giving Audrey. Like it's giving Audrey because what he's doing is symbolic of what Audrey would do.
Okay.
Right.
Or like stuff can happen and you can say it's giving like a celebrity or it's giving a cultural
Oh,
moment.
is this like,
Yeah.
as in, but you've like omitted like it's giving Audrey vibes,
Yes,
or something like
you've
that.
omitted
Gotcha.
vibes. Yeah.
See.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually didn't know that one. To be
So you
honest.
always have to
good.
use it with something after
Yeah, like
it.
you can't just
Yeah,
say
it's
not
giving.
just
Oh, I mean, like
Because
you
it's gotta
could.
be giving something.
Right.
It's like saying it's a lot like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need
You
to
just
finish
say
the
it's giving.
sentence.
Man,
Yeah.
you remind me so much of Audrey in what you just said.
Correct.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Lovely.
I don't know. I would
10
just
out of
actually
10.
say
Say
that.
that, I
I
know.
wouldn't. I would.
All right, let's move on.
Great.
Gen Z songs. Again,
You said
bonus.
Z that time.
See, I genuinely wouldn't know what I say. But again, bonus points if you can do the TikTok dance for them.
Well, we're currently seated.
You can
a
just
couch.
You can do it
arms.
with your arms.
All right. Great.
Okay. Number 1. I got my driver's license last week.
Do you know the song?
Just like just like you said I would. Just like I said.
That's really close though.
You're very
What
close.
song is this?
Driver's license.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh,
right?
no.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
no,
Sam's
I knew that, but I have no idea what the lyrics are.
Okay.
Just like something.
Just like, yeah. Lockie can sing it
That's
for
all,
us,
that's all I
actually.
got.
Do I? Yeah, I can. Do you want me to sing it?
I mean,
Do you want to say?
yeah.
Do you want to?
I got my driver's license last week. Wait. Oh, actually, I don't remember how. Wait, there's an extra word in there. Okay.
Just like.
I thought there was.
I
thought it was like-
finishing it.
Just like. It's like. Okay, I thought there was one less word in it, so I actually don't know how that line goes then. Sorry. I didn't know there was the word always.
We
So
can,
what is
we
the
can
line?
edit all that out.
Yeah, so finish the line. What's the line?
Just like we always talked about.
Yeah, okay. I feel like I knew the vibe it was heading down, just like we said we would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
Next.
Okay.
But it's over.
I'm just going to
Now?
talk whilst Brooke thinks. You said now?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, if you have been on Instagram or like TikTok or whatever you use,
Yeah.
on the reels, so any videos, it's like people have been doing this thing where they like run around and they kind of like make a film, like make like a skit out of it to this song. It's like, but it's over. And then you have to finish it.
How does it go?
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that one. Actually, I
People
don't know.
run
People
around.
are like running, like, and imagine like they're in like trackies right now, and they're running in trackies, and then when it says the next part of the lyric, the trackies come off, and they're in like this dress or something.
I mean, I feel like I've seen this, but
I haven't even seen this.
yeah.
I
Okay.
actually don't know. Remember, Instagram
Millennial.
Instagram removed reels from my phone. Remember,
That's
Well,
right. So
it's
healthy.
still Instagram
Healthy.
reels
Yeah.
does not show up. I'll put a screenshot on. It's not an option on my Instagram.
I love that boundary for you.
That's another thing that I
I
was going to
wouldn't.
say.
That's
That
better.
I love it. I love something for you. That's another thing.
Oh, yeah,
right?
true.
Love
I
that
love
for you.
that. Yeah, great.
Love. Anyways, it's then you're driving me home.
Is this finishing the last one or is this a new one?
No,
Finishing the
it's
last
finishing
one.
the last one.
Oh, okay. I was like, because I don't know this one.
No, I
either.
got-
Then you're driving me home.
No, I don't know that one.
Da-da-da-da.
We're going to have to create one of these for the
Okay.
podcast social media, by the way, because you've literally described what it is. So
Yeah, I would do
we'll
it.
have to make a video.
Yeah,
for
Next, the boy's a liar.
it. Nothing from me.
That was a smile, Brooke. Do you know this one?
No.
Mm.
Oh,
Really? Do you know this?
not by that one line.
Okay. The boy's a liar. He doesn't see you.
What a sad
That's
what a
super
sad
sad.
sentence. Yeah.
I'm so sorry he
I
lied
like
to
to be seen.
Yeah.
Next,
No, what's the song?
what's the song?
Yep.
The boy's a liar.
That's the
Is that
song.
the name of the song?
Ah.
The boy's a liar.
Oh.
Guys,
This
Come
whole
on.
this whole segment is you know when you explain an app to your grandparent and you're just like, "Oh, grandma." I just feel like that right now.
Yeah.
I just feel like exactly like
Okay,
that. So let's
next.
keep going.
I gave a second chance to Cupid.
Nothing.
And he
Guys,
shot his little bow at me.
Nothing.
And
I can tell you who Cupid is.
Yeah.
Yep. Little baby.
but now I'm left here feeling stupid.
So
that does
rhymey.
rhyme with Cupid.
I hope this is better. I hope this is great for you guys on YouTube and the podcast. I hope that you're getting these far more right than we are. You need to do this again.
Trust me, I think
it's
they
not.
are.
It's not hard to get it more right than we are.
Yeah. We need to do this again and get people born 7 years earlier than us on. Or
You should
something.
test us on millennial things.
Oh,
Yes.
100%.
Next
Yeah.
time. Next
Like,
time we can do
sing
that.
me the intro song of Shrek.
Yeah, I could do the whole
can do
thing. Somebody once told me the world revolved around. Okay,
That's
never
not
mind.
the lyric. That's right.
I ain't the
Uh,
sharpest tool in the shed.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
Next, I am your mother.
Weird.
No, nothing.
No.
Mamma Mia, here I go again.
It's by Megan Trainor.
No. I know who she is, but no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I am your mother. Duh.
No.
You listen
Is
to
it- is
me.
it
You are
Oh,
my,
I
you
was
are my
about to
daughter.
say-
I'm just going to guess.
I was
You
about
are
to
my
say
you
daughter.
are my
something. Do what I
daughter.
tell you.
No.
Oh.
I am your mother. You listen to me.
Okay.
Whoa.
I was going for the rhyme, but it didn't rhyme that time.
Okay. Next.
Yeah.
B my BFF.
Nope. Zero. Zilch. Nada.
And we'll have fun times for the rest of our lives.
No.
Did you just turn that into like a
It's
Saddle Club song?
B
or something?
B my BFF because IDK. What's coming next?
Oh, I get it because it's acronyms.
No way.
That makes
I
sense.
don't got you, girl.
Damn. So we lost is what I'm. Well, we. Oh no.
No,
you
guys
lost
lost.
too because you
I
didn't even know half
actually
of
also
these
lost.
things.
I'm ashamed. I'm sorry.
I feel like I'm winning that I'm staying in my lane.
Yeah, I'm okay with the fact
Yeah.
that I just miserably
I'm
failed.
like,
at
how
that.
would you all feel if I was just like ripping out this slang and these dances? I felt you'd be like,
If you
need to
if you were
stop.
one of those people, we would have had an
Calm
intervention.
down.
We would have had a full
If
setup.
I'd done all of these TikTok dances, you would no longer be friends with me.
That's actually your final
troll.
moments on the
We would have
podcast.
confronted
Yeah.
you by
Well,
this point.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's it from me.
Yeah. No, that was good.
Well, thanks.
I
Yeah.
hope
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. So we brought up a few things then that were kind of interesting. And I know we kind of jumped ahead a little bit, but talking about like iPhone kids. What are they called? No, they're called
iPad
iPads.
kids.
An iPad girly.
iPad kid.
iPad kid. Were you an iPad kid, Audrey?
I was not an iPad kid.
Okay, fair enough. Or is that
Maybe
Gen
I was.
Alpha? Right, that's the next one, right?
Yeah, well, Gen Alpha is raised by Gen Y.
Why?
Yeah.
You're gonna say Gen Z there. I was like,
Well, some
I'm not
Gen
ready
Z.
to have a baby.
Literally,
That's true. If
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
a Gen
yeah,
Z,
true.
Yeah.
said
Because if you're 25 and you have a kid, you're a Gen Z.
Yeah,
raising a Gen
facts.
Alpha.
that's true.
S-
Wow.
yeah.
because
Terrifying.
2024 is when Gen Alpha ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's just like everyone post 2008 has grown up in a world that's only ever had smartphones.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is wild.
Which is like crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like thinking about when I had to get information. Oh, and I'm going to sound like an absolute boomer here, but it's like if you wanted to learn something, you had to walk down to the library and like pick up a thing.
Talking in that accent.
Now you're just a
Lockie's
kid.
alter ego just came
My
up for a
alter
second.
ego. That's no, I can't think of whatever. But like the fact that you can have your phone on you at all times, and like even I don't know if you guys. I mean, did you get this when you're at school and your maths teacher is like, "You're never going to have a calculator in your pocket when you walk around," right? Talking about like learning maths. Did you guys ever get that?
No one has said that to me ever.
I feel like they emphasize that I need to know maths far more than I ever did.
Yeah.
But I don't
Oh,
think
yeah.
they tried that line on me because
Right.
I had a calculator in my pocket
Right.
since I was 10.
I think it was like because it was like the idea of I hate saying back then, but back then that you didn't have instant access to calculators. So
Yeah.
if you needed to do maths, you had to know how to do it.
Yeah.
But we're totally like past that stage now, right? Where it's just you constantly have your phone on you, and like actually, can we do a quick game? Can we do a quick thing? And if you're watching as well, get yours up. I know iPhones do this. Do Androids have like screen time trackers as well?
Sure do.
Great. Can we get our screen times up? Because I think this is something that's super interesting to look at. Because you go from
I feel like I wanna,
pre-smartphones. When were you on your phone? When you wanted to call someone?
You want to hide it before you show it?
Well, no, I want to like keep my phone locked so I'm not adding minutes right now while I wait.
Let's not do...
Facts.
That's smart. No, whatever. We're not adding that many minutes. Let's not do today because we've spent time in here talking without our phones.
Dang
Can
it,
we do
mine's
it
pretty good.
our daily average from last week?
I don't have a daily average.
Oh,
Actually, no, I will be able
my
to.
average is actually all right.
All right. So just
For
as a
me.
quick summary, there are 24 hours in one day, and the average sleep is or the correct sleep is 8 hours, right? That's the recommended sleep.
Yeah.
Which means there's 16 hours of waking time,
Yeah.
right? So if you think of your 16 hours awake,
Yeah.
this is how many hours you are spent looking at your phone.
Yeah.
So I'll be okay to start if I kick us off. Set a good average. I don't know if
Set a
this is
high
good or
bar.
not. So
Set a high bar.
last week I actually did pretty well. To be honest, this is lower than I have been in the past. But my last week daily average is 4 hours and 19 minutes.
Okay.
Cue round of applause sound effect.
Yay!
Mine is 3 hours and 43 minutes.
Me? You've seen mine, so
Well,
you don't
I
even.
can see yours,
Mine's
so.
3 hours and it was 3 hours and 4 minutes a minute ago when I opened this up before your soliloquy, and now it's 3 hours and 5 minutes. So
Yeah, good.
I'm going to claim 3 hours and 4
No,
minutes.
are you looking at last week?
Last week's.
Yes, was I not?
Well, then how was
Then how
today's
did it go
affected?
up?
Not log time today.
How do you look at
week.
last week?
You just scroll
I'm not
across.
an iPhone.
So if you click,
Boomer
there you go.
things.
Ah!
what is it?
Oh.
Nah, we'll just do this week's.
What
for
is
the
it?
time being.
Nah, 3 hours is good.
What is it? What is
What
it?
is it?
Oh, that's why I had such a really high day on the Saturday. That's because I was on a plane and I was just playing
Oh.
Candy Crush on my phone for the whole
What-
flight.
what's your- what
What
was
is
It was
it?
5 hours 39.
Okay.
But this week it's 3 hours. 5.
Okay. Brooke,
Yeah, because we've only
3:27.
3:27.
27.
Not
That's
bad.
good.
Yeah.
That's. I think those are acceptable numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. What is it? Sam?
I've just seen my. All right. So on Saturday the 22nd, it was 9 hours of 10 hours of screen time that day, and I think I just accidentally left it open because it says that I used the Bible app for 5 hours and 25 minutes.
What a
You-
studious
the-
man.
Yeah, read
Just
your
a
Bible, kids.
Retreat day.
Is that a
Bless
pasta?
you.
or-
That's
But that's a flex to say I had 9 hours of screen time and 5.5 while reading the Bible.
How much do you do? You know the Weet-Bix thing?
Yeah.
I should make an ad for how much you read your Bible.
What percentage
That's
of
so
your screen
embarrassing,
time is
yeah.
the Bible?
yeah. And I mean, it's something that like I feel, and it's interesting seeing that. I mean, we're all pretty similar, but I don't know. We also use our phones quite a lot in our jobs and things like that. So maybe that's skewed a bit. But like, do you guys reckon that's something that has come with the newer generations? Is that a generational difference or just like a smartphone difference?
Screen time?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I didn't have a screen to bank up screen time when I was younger. Like, I got my iPod Touch that I bought from eBay in year 7, first gen. That was the first portable screen I had access to.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
up until 13, I didn't have a screen. Like, I didn't have a laptop, so
Yeah.
yeah, there was no option for screen time.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I got my first.
Actually, no, sorry. I say that. Did I spend like years of my life on Sims on our Windows desktop? Absolutely, I did. So I did have screen time and TVs, but not
Microsoft
portably.
Flight
Yeah.
Simulator 97.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Do you? Oh, sorry. You were going to say
No,
something.
I was just
Oh,
going
okay.
to say I agree.
Oh, great.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Do you guys and I know you've looked a bit into this, Brooke, in prep for this, but like, is the way that screens and like our phones being the calculator and the internet and how we talk to people and I don't know, Candy Crush, like, do you think that's affected even just the way that like Gen Z, oh man, we literally interchange every time. It's ridiculous. Gen Z, Gen Z, like, I guess interact with the world.
Oh, 100%. I think it changes the way we even think of things. Like everything we do, we're leaving a digital footprint of ourselves. So, like when I was 13 years old, I wasn't thinking I shouldn't post that in case I get cancelled in a decade because that wasn't
Cancelled, one of the words.
that wasn't a thing to be concerned about. Whereas now people are very aware of the way your identity is shaped by your internet identity. And like that wasn't a thing. I didn't have Instagram stories to like tag all my friends in. Like the best I had was like MySpace top friends. But you set your display picture and you left that for at least 2 good months if it was a good photo. So it's not like I was uploading all the time. So there just wasn't a reason to be online as much. Yeah. So I think it fully changes the way we live because people are more connected to the people around them digitally than they are in person.
Yeah. And it's interesting. There was went to the Barna World Vision like webinar the other week that was on, and it was interesting. They were talking about how they did like surveys for 1,000 young people in Australia, so like under 18s, and like it's a religious or Christian organization stuff, and they found that they like asked people what their community, what they defined as their community, with a bunch of like options, and 3% more people said that they felt like online and people on the internet and stuff were more of their community than like their churches were, or like than their like religious group were, which is like just totally shows you how much it's been integrated into our lives, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I mean, even that whole realm looks completely different. Church online, like people. Did you guys ever watch, or do you guys ever do church from home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As in, did we?
Or
Yeah.
like,
Oh, no,
did
sorry.
we
Do,
have-
do
did
you,
we?
do you?
Like during COVID?
Okay,
Yeah.
COVID is a special occasion, but like, do you ever currently?
Yeah. I still do.
I don't.
Yeah. No, I don't.
I don't find it I was about to say gives me what I need, and that makes church sound like a product I come to consume. I don't find it does in my heart what I want church to do.
Yep.
And being in the building and around people has a much more significant impact on my life than sitting on my couch and watching something.
Yep.
Like, it makes it a bit too much like a show I can watch.
Sure.
And I don't want church to be that for me. So I think I've just actively, like, even if I know I'm not going to be able to make it to church this weekend, I don't watch it online.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't like it.
Yeah, no, because well, I mean, aside from
Online
you
pastors
can
coming
start
for you.
talking. Yeah, actually, Steve Fogg in the comments.
Sorry.
Steve Fogg in the comments. Be like,
You can start to get into all sorts of stuff about preferences and all that sort of stuff. But I agree with you. Ultimately, at the end of the day, when you're part of a church environment and you engage in it in a way that is consumeristic rather than participatory, that's just going to perpetuate that. That's the way that you then engage with your faith as well.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what type of, I mean, churches, sure, but even other different environments as well that we're a part of. We want to be participators in helping to create something rather than just consuming something that someone else does for us as well.
Yeah.
And I think that that's when you get the best of church is when everyone's saying, I want to participate. I want to have something to do with this. It's up to me to help to shape what this looks like and what it feels like and even the way that people say what I get out of church as well. I find that really challenging as well, because then it's like, what can I get from these people? How can this contribute to me?
Yeah.
Church should first and foremost be, what can I bring to this, right?
Yeah.
How could God use my gifts and talents and skills that we believe that he gives us? That means that I can contribute to this.
And I think there's something healthy about church not being on demand for you. Like, it isn't just this little piece that you can fit into your schedule whenever you want it to and however it feels convenient, but you're saying, actually, no, for me to come to church, I need to prioritize it. I need to shift other things around. I need to show up when I'm not my best or when I'm a bit rushed or when I'm tired or when I don't feel like it. For me, that creates a healthy respect for what church is in my life. Whereas which I experienced a lot during COVID, when I was like, I don't feel like watching church right now. And so I didn't. And I'm like, that has a really negative impact on me, to think of church as something that is served up on a platter for me, rather than this is something that I'm a part of. This is a community I contribute to. Which honestly I reckon is like such a big generational divide, which is fascinating.
Even if you just take that out of the church context and put that into like social circles and things like that, the people that I'm closest to and the social circles that I'm closest to are the spaces where I put in the most effort, and are the spaces where I show up when it's not a great day or when I don't feel like it, and the spaces where I feel like it's like a transactional relationship. It's when you catch up with that one friend that you don't see very often, or you see this group of school friends once a year or something. That's not as vital for me, those spaces, because it's not really costing me anything.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just sort of going, let's catch up because I feel guilty because I haven't seen you in a while and we used to be really close friends. Whereas the spaces where it does cost me something, like it takes time out of me and energy out of me, those are the most rewarding spaces as well. And I totally think that's true of church community context as well.
Odds, you said you do church online.
I do.
What do you like about it? What brings you back? As we just say, we don't like church online. Tell us, why do you like
the
it?
biggest roast.
Give
I'm
us
kidding,
the
guys.
other side of the...
Church online for me is convenient, and I know you said you hated, but like you disliked that it was convenient because of that. But I think when you live such a busy life, and not saying these guys don't live busy lives, because they do, they really do, but just when you live such a crazy filled schedule, and just knowing that I don't need to add in like an extra 2 hours on top of my Sunday to get ready to mingle with people after church as well, on top of that, as well as doing this, like listening to the service. I'm not saying like the service is a chore, like it's something that I want to do, which is why I've taken out the time on a Sunday or a Saturday night to watch it for myself. And then I can also partake in the fellowship things outside of church. Like I meet up regularly with a lot of like doing life group with people, or just being here on a Friday night as well, just like serving together in a community. That helps me so much. And I feel like if I didn't have all of those things, I would definitely be considering going to church in person. But because I have that Friday night connection, I have fellowship outside, still part of Crossway, like a Crossway life group, it just makes it so much more convenient for me to do online church.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I feel like there's also, I mean, and like, you know, I mean, don't actually, but like roast me for my theology maybe, but like, I feel like there's some level of it's less necessarily about like having to be in the building. You know, like we often say church isn't the building, it's the people. So if you're still finding ways to engage with the people, and if your reason for going to church is to hear the teaching, and you're engaging with the people in the community outside of that, is there a huge difference in like watching it online versus being in the room if you're like just there for the teaching and then other stuff? And like that's a like hypothetical question, but like I think there's some like pros and cons are both ways 100%.
Yeah,
it's just
100.
interesting that like you get such a there is quite a big difference, but also like even like at Crossway, right, we have such a big like online community who watch exclusively online even.
Yeah, I think what this is part of the challenge of kind of people coming out of the COVID era of engaging with the world digitally and feeling as closely connected to people online on the other side of the world as you do to the people in your street, is when you take that into the context of church, you can get stuff from the capital C church, right? The big global church, like your teaching and all these Christian resources and devotionals, and you can become a better Christian through knowledge and through filling your head. Yeah. But the danger is when you think that is a full stop, right? And that is your only interaction with church. That can't replace what the local church is and what it has been for thousands of years. And the local church is sacrificing for people. Yeah. And the local church is costing you something, and it's participating into a community rather than just consuming from a community. Which is
where that's so essential if your main church experience is online.
So you can still, I don't think we would say that there's absolutely anything wrong with engaging with some aspects of church digitally. Even like there's people who do all aspects of church digitally well because they put in effort for it and it cost them something, and they sacrifice and they contribute to it. But I think a part of the challenge for us who would have predominantly engaged in person with church is coming out of that. We can't let the digital easy access stuff of church replace what we had
way better
pre-COVID. Yeah, like there's so many things that have changed different.
And just to add to what you said before, Lockie, of church isn't the building, it's the people. I think for me, part of what the big sacrifice is, but also the big growing point for me, is the people you access at church that you can't access online. And you never join a community, not never. It's really hard to join a community if you're not one of the people who choose to engage in the room.
Yeah.
So I'm like, for all of us, we serve, we work, we're in life groups. Like we have such broad church communities that if we're not there at a weekend service, we have access points to church community everywhere. Yep. Whereas for someone who walks into church for the first time, they don't have all those access points. Like church is the front door to that community. And so in my head, I'm like, if we're not there opening that front door, I'm like, where does the next generation get to walk in?
Yep.
Because I'm kind of like, it's a bit like shutting the door and being like, well, you do it yourself.
Yep.
Yeah,
You find
yeah.
your own people. And I'm like, if I didn't have people 10 years ahead of me showing what it looks like to live a healthy, faith-filled life and be able to look at them and them starting dating, them getting married, them doing all that stuff, if I didn't actually get to see it with my own eyes because I'm in church community, I wouldn't have known how to do any of that. And I'm like, we have insane exposure because we're on a staff team, so we get to live and breathe church as our job. But I'm like, this next generation, Gen Z, I'm like, they need exposure to other people living a faith-filled life, and they only get that if the people living a faith-filled life are in the room with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Like,
same
so
going
that's
like
why I
down
think
to the generation under and stuff.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it's the teach me how to live type stuff in quotation marks, where if I don't get that from a person because I'm choosing not to engage in person in a faith-filled community, then I'm going to go to the internet to get that.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask the internet, teach me how to live.
Yeah.
And that's where you see some of the challenge with this sort of stuff is lived experience, and seeing it through people is the most tried and tested and grounded way to learn how to live as a follower of Jesus in 2023.
Yeah.
Can I also just add, the worship in person is a lot better than the worship online.
So, yeah, that's a bit true.
Yes
yeah.
and amen.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. There's a big difference between being in the room and like singing with other people there versus like sitting on your couch, coffee in hand, and mumbling along to the words.
Or even just like the spiritual presence that you get from being in the room, like on a Friday night or on a Saturday or a Sunday, is so different to what you will receive from like the digital screen.
It's I mean, that's such like in our realm, online church, I think, is one of the biggest kind of points of contact with the internet that we have kind of experienced and changed over COVID and stuff. I mean, having grown into the online age, right, where, we all said we use our phones quite a bit, but like that's such a big difference in our world. But even for people who like aren't at church, so much is moving to online. Like, Meta, Facebook Meta was trying to get was it like the metaverse going or whatever, and like trying to pull everything like online. I think it's crazy.
If you want a fun stat on that,
Oh, please.
I found this from McCrindle. So outside of school or work, 74% of Gen Z's time is spent online.
74.
Oh my
How long's the school? So how long's the school day?
9 till 3:30, something like that.
Ish, depending on where you're listening from.
But 74%. So
Outside
there's
of that.
26% of their time that they would choose to do anything off. And it's not just a screen, it's online.
Or maybe
Yeah,
not
wow.
choose, like, even like that doesn't include school.
Yeah.
That's
So, like-
while they're having dinner and mum's like, put down your
Genuinely.
phone, your phone's to the
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
I got that one.
Yeah. Which just seems crazy for me.
That's so bizarre.
Just how much you're exposed to.
Yeah. And what are
Every
they
single day.
filling their time online with?
Yeah.
Like, it could literally be anything.
So if you're listening to this, thanks for filling your time in with us.
Other voices.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember someone saying that I'm like a massive like audiobook, podcast, just essentially anytime I can hear people talking, I want to hear people talking. So that's like what I do instead of listening to music or anything like that. I'll always have, some sort of talking playing in my ears. And I remember someone saying, if the voice of God is trying to talk to you and you keep drowning it out with other voices, how will you ever hear him? And I was like, but it made me think that when you said like how much stuff are they getting in of like if God was trying to meet you in a place and you couldn't see him past your screen, how will you ever see him?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It changes every generation. Like it's the same problem always, But yeah, I feel like it's probably the hardest for this generation to have devices specifically designed to capture your attention and keep your attention. To then try and peel your eyes away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that that's important as well. Is it's easy for us and people who have grown up without phones to go, oh my gosh, why are you spending 74% of your time on that when that's all that people have grown up with?
Yeah.
So I think we, as people who have known what it's like to live pre-smartphone age, would do well to cultivate empathy in that space and go, actually, if that's all you've known and that's the way you've been raised, I can understand why that would be really, really hard. And it's up to us to help lead people in a way that is both empathetic, but also you sometimes need people to call you on that and go, how are you going to hear God if you just got Audible in your ears all the time, right? And that's, I'm speaking to me as well on that.
Preaching to the choir.
Yeah. It's only going to increase as well. The only consistency is change.
In talking about screen time and knowing that our listeners have been listening for a while and we want them to actually get off their phones and devices, right? Any last, I guess, thoughts or even advice or just discussion points around like what we've kind of talked about, like Gen Z, and like phone usage. I know we're going to talk a bit about TikTok today, but I mean that kind of got
Another episode.
thrown a little bit. Another one. We can do a whole TikTok episode. There's stuff going on there. But any like I guess advice or anything about managing screen time or about engaging in the online platform, even like from experience, Audrey, because you're a young person, about engaging online in this capacity.
I'm going to talk just so we don't have dead air. I would just say if you are on your screen, generally that's always going to be taking away from someone, whether it's someone in your family, your friends, or even yourself. So that's what I try and think about when I'm on my screen, when I finish a level on Candy Crush, or honestly, I hadn't played it for like years, and I downloaded it before the flight. And I've been
Played it for 9 hours straight.
This is my confession time. I'm up to like
And his
very
flight
high
was
level.
2 hours.
Who are you taking? Who's this costing? Is what I try to think about every single time I'm on my screen now, because there's a lot of value and importance in screens, but the longer that you're on it, I've got to ask myself, who's this costing? Because it's always costing someone something, even if it's me, costing me the opportunity to do something different.
Yeah. Brooke?
I'd say, and I guess this is a reflection from me trying to moderate my own screen time, especially over the past couple of years. Like, treat any addiction like it's an addiction. You can choose to go cold turkey. You can choose to wean yourself off it. Yeah. Like, teenagers probably have way less experience with dealing with addiction, but I'm like, it would be silly to think we're not all addicted to something, even if it's sugar or your phone. So you have to be intentional. No one is accidentally getting rid of their addiction. Like, it doesn't happen. You need to be so intentional about what you cut back and what you prioritize. And if you can say, the greatest priority in my life is how I'm perceived online, then great, stay on your phone. If your greatest priority in life is anything else, then let that take more time than the time you spend on your phone.
That's good.
Audrey?
I liked what you said about being intentional, but mine is probably more on being intentional about what you're looking at and what you're scrolling through, whether that's on TikTok or whether you're on Instagram Reels or whether you're on Snapchat. Just being very, very intentional as to what is going in you in a way, like the content that you are receiving. Because, and then from there, and if that's like positive receiving or negative receiving from there, then that's when you can make a decision. Hey, I'm being intentional. I know that this thing that I'm scrolling through is quite negative. It's playing a really detrimental part in my life. And then from there, you can make like the next steps kind of thing. And then go, I actually kind of want to cut it because it's not serving a purpose in my life. It's just bringing me down, and it's causing a lot of negative comments in my head and in my brain. So I don't want to look at it anymore. But yeah, just be very, very intentional about what content you are receiving.
That's good.
That's all great. Thanks, guys. I think this was a really awesome chat. If you want to send us your screen time, you can send that to our Instagram
You can send it to
account.
our socials, all the
socials.
different areas. Yep.
It'd be funny to just, when this episode comes out, just receive like heaps of random screen time screenshots. You will be, if you have the highest screen time, you will be, or the low. No, let's not promote highs. If you have the average daily screen time in your week
Over 7 days. Yeah.
over 7 days,
We'll do a giveaway.
we'll do a giveaway.
Yeah, we'll give something away.
All right. Okay, boss. We'll give you away.
You're
give
giving
some.
it away?
Yeah.
He's giving
Okay.
it away.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks for listening. And if you guys have anything you want to hear about from us, anything you want us to talk about, or even just fun things to send in, please let us know. We'd love to make them happen. Anyways, till next time.
Adios.
Slay.